Attention all freaks. We are now boarding for the flight to Planet E. 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 Planet E.
Host P. Smalls. We got a very special edition of Between Two Turntables and a Microphone tonight, and very special guest Bahamut. We're going to be getting with him in a minute. We just got a couple of announcements that we're going to do real quick, let you guys know what's going on. Michelle, thanks for that. Really appreciate that. So hopefully we get a good amount of people. It looks like people are filing in, so that's awesome. So I'm your host, P. Smalls. If you guys don't know, what we do here is we got a podcast where we talk to DJs, producers, music enthusiasts, mainly focused around the breakbeat scene, and we just try to get some, background info from them, talk to them about their career, everything like that. It's pretty cool, and really enjoy that. And then we also do a live stream where we DJ. I DJ. We got a Tuesday night show with Digital Attitude that we do on Mixcloud. So check us out. Hit that follow button up on the page if you haven't done that yet. We got all kinds of good stuff that we do on here. And we got some announcements coming up for actually a lot of different things. So the first thing is there's actually a real party happening soon. Let me get on the page right here, let everybody know about this. Bass Reunion 4 Island Edition. So shout out to Rob Cokeless, actually throwing a real party on an island after all this craziness. So it's on May 30th. I'm going to put the event page in the chat real quick, and you guys can check it out. Hopefully it's public by now. I'm not really sure. But Infinity's going to be there. And who else we got on there? I got to look at the flyer. We got Infinity. We got Rockright, Lynx, Devious, Intricate, Al Hooker, what's up, Al Hooker? Infectious Cuts and DJ Q. So you got to get a boat to go out there. So it's going to be a very interesting party, man. It should be awesome. It's in Stewart, good location. They're going to be running a couple boats back and forth to unload and load people from the mainland. So definitely check that out. I can put it in the chat. And then we also got next week, we got our normal Tuesday night broadcast with Digital Attitude, Bobby Delavante throwing down on Mixcloud. So make sure you check that out. We're doing that every Tuesday, pretty much playing every kind of breaks. And then I do my thing usually on maybe a Wednesday night where I play all Florida breaks. And then that's on Facebook. And then we also have coming up DJ Image, which haven't heard from him in a while, so this is going to be interesting. So he hit us up, wants to come on the stream, so we got him May 27th. So that's going to be awesome. You can check out that event here. I'm going to paste that in the chat as well. So make sure you check that out. That is next Wednesday at 7:30. And he's going to be playing all vinyl, all Florida breaks. And then we also have coming up Merlin on June 9th. He's going to be doing what we're doing right now, this virtual podcast, and he's going to be coming in or tuning in from Miami or joining us from Miami. So make sure you check that out. I'm going to paste that event page in there as well, so that should be pretty awesome. And then we're also doing an announcement on that show for Tears of Technology. We got a contest going on. I actually got to put the post up again. We had a problem with the link, but Tears of Technology is re-releasing Saphira, and he's having Chris Domingo master it. Or remaster it, and he's doing a giveaway to give somebody a copy of the original pressing. So I'll put a link up after that, or after the show about that, because we had an issue with the website, and the form to fill out to enter the contest wasn't working. So we'll get that taken care of. And so I think that's pretty much it for my announcements. Yep, that's pretty much it. All right, so what we are going to do now is we are going to change over to where we got Mr. Bahamut with us, Mr. Christopher Rayce. What's up, man? Can you hear me?
I hear you fine. How you doing?
Awesome, man. So, thank you for joining us, dude. This is like so cool for me and everybody that's on here. Like, you don't even know, man. I'm like super fan of this kind of stuff, and like, it's mind blowing for me. So I really appreciate it. And like I was telling you before, and you were so gracious, man, for letting us use your Bump in the Night '96 as our intro track. So I really appreciate that, man. Thank you.
It's my pleasure. It's fun that people still get something out of those tracks.
Yeah, I love it, man. I love it. It's one of my favorite tracks ever. So I guess we will get right into it, man. So really, I know you put out a lot of different stuff in the mid '90s, right? Mid to late '90s. Was that kind of like you would say your heyday?
Oh yeah. So, 94 was the first record, and I kept releasing stuff until vinyl sort of died out, and then I sort of lost interest in putting stuff out digitally. I love records.
Me too, man. I recently got back into collecting records. I got out of it. I have a record collection, but it was never anything substantial. And then, did you know Joel Gray when you were down here? DJ Tonic?
Maybe. Name is familiar.
Yeah, he fixed my turntables, and he has a record collection. He told me he has like 12,000 records. So I went up to his house to get these turntables, and literally, like, in his studio room, his entire wall is floor-to-ceiling records, and then in his other bedroom, he has them as well. And, like, he kind of just made me think more about records than I was before. Like, all the labor that goes into putting out a record.
Oh, yeah.
It's a lot of work. So how was your artwork done? Let's talk about that. I know it's not even something that we said we were going to talk about, but how was your artwork done for your stuff?
Early on, I had just friends who did it for me. The first record, the Bump in the Night record, was just a guy did a little thing in fat pants and sent it off, and they threw it on the label. And but later on, I kind of got into doing graphics myself, Photoshop.
Oh, okay.
Putting it together.
Okay. So you did...
When I was on... But various labels, they have their own artists. And they would do it. Black Magic have their own people. Swell have their own people. For some of them. And some of them, I think.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. I never really thought about that. Okay. So you would give them the track, and like they would use whatever their interpretation of something and the track was, and kind of make a label like that, kind of. Okay. That's cool. I didn't really know that. I never really thought about that. I saw some of the original Jekyll and Hyde, like, I guess he drew them with a permanent marker. This guy Joel had stuff like that, and like that was really like, man, label art is something. Like, I never really appreciated it.
Yeah, Black Magic did stuff like that. Kind of just scribbling.
Yeah.
It came out good.
Yeah, it's good stuff. So, well, man, let's talk about your DJ name. So,
Bahamut.
Yeah, I love it, dude. I love it.
Man, it goes back to middle school, high school. I was definitely into Dungeons and Dragons, that sort of thing. Bahamut was the Platinum Dragon. I had to come up with a name. I'd finish the songs, and like, for me, coming up with the names was always kind of like the hardest part. So I had this Dungeons and Dragons game, and I had a bunch of cards, and I'm like, whichever card comes up is the name I'm going to call myself. And the card that came up was Bahamut. I'm like, yes, I love Bahamut.
Nice.
So go with that.
It is an awesome name, man. Like we had said before, I had first heard about it on Final Fantasy VII. So, and it was like my favorite summoning spell. So it was cool. And I didn't know I never played Dungeons and Dragons, so I didn't really know where I'd come from. But yeah, that's
people have gotten the name wrong over the years. In fact, that's why I released Bahamut's Bath Mat. It's a couple of butcherings of my name. Like, your name's Muhammad, right?
Right.
No, it's Bahamut. Muhammad? No. Bath Mat? No, it's not Bath Mat.
Bahamian? Yeah, that's fine. So did you release music under any other aliases or anything like that?
I released stuff under my name Christopher Rayce. So if this breaks, it went under Bahamut. If it was touching into other stuff, it was usually Christopher Rayce.
So when you were doing a lot of break stuff, were you also releasing other genres at the same time, or was it kind of like you were focusing maybe on one and then later you got to the other one or other ones?
I mean, I never knew what kind of song was going to come out when I sat down. Whatever song I wrote was what it was, and then I'd be like, "Oh, this isn't a break song. I can't release this as Bahamut." So,
Okay. Gotcha.
People think of me as a breaks artist, but I consider myself more just an electronic musician, and so
right.
It just happens that the breaks tracks took off more than the other stuff.
It just happens that you have 21 releases on Discogs that are breaks.
Right.
For sure. So how did you get into producing? Like, were you a DJ first, or were you a producer first?
So I went to Rollins College in Orlando, and I was a radio DJ there. They had a little radio station, and so I got into DJing there. And that's sort of when the scene was starting, and I was getting out and going to clubs and things. I had like a graveyard shift show. It was middle of the night, 2 to 4, and they had 2 turntables. I didn't have the cash to buy turntables back then, so I taught myself to DJ live on this radio show. I feel really sorry for listeners now. there's some pretty bad train wrecks. But,
it's like Shoes in the Dryer with Christopher Rayce.
Yeah. Exactly.
That's awesome. So what were you playing when you were learning?
I mean, I was really into like the hard house stuff, electro. I mean, I liked breaks. I saw breaks coming up. I was inspired by it. But I loved like Rabbit in the Moon stuff, and Icy was just starting to put out records. You know, the Edge was really big, playing a lot of breaks. So it was always an adventure. Like for me, going to the record store, that was super fun. Mm-hmm. This music was so new and cutting edge at the time. Going through all the records, and I experimented with a lot of different stuff. It was fun to mash different genres together.
Right. How long were you at that radio station?
All 4 years that I was at the school.
Okay. So then did you start producing while you were doing that as well, or you were after that?
Yeah, I started producing. So I got inspired. I went to a show, it was 91, out in Cocoa Beach. Cybersonic, Moby, and Prodigy were playing. And I was listening to this music, and it just went on and on and on and on. I was like, "Wow, this is amazing! I could do this." And I was that night. I was like, "I'm gonna find a way to make this kind of music." But I mean, think about that lineup: Moby, Prodigy, Cybersonic. That's Richie Houghton and John Aquaviva, all +8 Detroit music. You know, what a way to get into it.
Right. What year was that? Around what year?
I think it was 91.
Wow. Yeah, that's awesome. So
that was
Moby
before. Just put out Next Is the E. It's like he just put out his first big hit.
That's what I was gonna say. So that's just like when they got like, I don't even know, was Prodigy even on the map at that point?
They were the headliners of the show, but this was a pretty small venue,
right.
So it wasn't like there was that many.
Yeah. Wow.
That's I was like, I'd never seen a show like that before. They were like really in your face. The music just kept going on and on all night long. They were on stage just going.
Yeah. I never seen Moby. They had Prodigy at Ultra one year, but I never seen Moby. So when you had
so I went to the beach that night. Like, well, I guess it was early morning. And I was like, man, I know I can make this kind of music. And so then I bought a K2000 sampler keyboard, just started messing around with it. It just happened that one of the first things I messed around with was pulling all these samples together. It became Bump in the Night. I wasn't even going to put it out, but a buddy of mine was like, man, that's a good song. You got to put that on the record. So I did. I kind of hit it. Like, it was one of the inner cuts. I like the other songs better. But that was when everyone played.
I think that record is actually worth some money on here now. Let's see. I'm going to look real quick. Yeah. I mean, right now the lowest price is $33.
Yeah,
so
that's more than I've made in the last 5 years of digital releases.
It's got a 4.41 rating out of 5, so people definitely like it.
good.
Yeah, the highest is $49.99. So yeah, it definitely has some value to it. That's a good price. I might have to buy one. I don't have that one. All I have is the Bump at 96 one.
I'd give you a copy. I only have one myself.
Yeah, that's all right. So you were using, what'd you say you were using to make the music with?
It was a Kurzweil K2000 sampler keyboard, and then I had my computer was like the brains, but it was all MIDI. So when you record, everything was just recorded live in one take.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the audio bots told me about that. So you were playing it live, recording it, and like that's the song, right? Yeah.
I had some friends, Cuban's Abstract Message, he had a recording studio, so I brought it in there and they helped me produce it and master it. There's a lot of different skills involved in getting a record out. It's not just writing the song. That's just the first part. Then there's the production side, making everything sound right. And then there's the mastering side, getting it to where it sounds perfect.
Mm-hmm.
And these are skills that take a long time to learn. I didn't learn how to do any of that. Just writing the songs was.
So you were sending it off to a label or whoever, and they would take care of the mastering and things like that?
Well, I was in the studio with them while we did the production. And it was great. We had a huge mixing console. We broke all the tracks out to the individual channels. Each thing was EQ'd on its own track. It was like old school mixing.
Okay.
I learned a lot from them.
That's cool. So you never learned how at all, or that you do mastering and stuff now yourself?
Oh, now I do it all myself.
Okay.
It's a lot easier now too, though. Back then, everything was done in the analog domain. Now you do it all in the box.
Okay.
And you have all sorts of really nice limiting plugins and things.
Gotcha. So what was your inspiration for like songs? Like what was your I guess how would you come up with like the inspiration to write a new song? Like what was your kind of method that you did?
I usually started off with some records that I liked and picking samples off of them. Usually a few drum loops, maybe a vocal sample, and then that would be the start of it. And then you just sit and play around with everything. I mean, I love starting off with drum loops. I wish I'd had like nice drum machines back then, or I could have made the drum sounds all myself. But those things they're out of my budget.
Right. Yeah. So what was your profession back then when you were making music?
Student.
That was it? Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Were you ever like on campus known for that, or only like in the break scene, which maybe wasn't so much on campus? I don't know. I'm not really sure.
I mean, we had like a whole crew of people who were going to these events. I mean, the whole scene was blowing up at those years. It was huge. I mean, I've read some articles where they called Orlando, it was like the Seattle of beats, and
okay.
It was big back then.
So that was like warehouse raves and stuff like that?
Yeah, oh totally.
Okay. Yeah, I missed all that, man. It's before my time for when it was real. It was the real underground stuff.
It was fun.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, among my crew of people, then they put out a record. That's pretty neat. I wouldn't say I was like famous.
Yeah. So when you were going to these parties and stuff, were you DJing at them also, or you were just attending?
Started off attending. Wanted to DJ at them. I did break after I put out the record. Then I had a little bit of notoriety where I was able to get DJ gigs. I kind of did the music then as an in to DJ. I consider myself more a DJ than a musician back then. Now I'm way more musician than DJ.
Right.
But and it was,
Yeah, I know how that works. I started throwing parties so I could start DJing. Yeah, you got to find your way in somehow. Yeah, no, I understand that. So, okay, let's talk about your DJ style. Like, I mean, I've never heard a set or anything. Do you have any recorded sets anywhere from when you were DJing? Like, what kind of stuff were you playing?
There's a few on my SoundCloud page and on Mixcloud. I tended to play stuff that's a little esoteric. Like, I'd play stuff that had a funky beat, but also, like, veered into, like, more trancey deep spaces. I mean, I remember one gig I was playing at Mars in Cocoa Beach. I was so excited to play that. I played for like 30, 45 minutes, and they're like, dude, you're not playing breaks. Play more breaks.
Yeah.
Like, this is what I like. So they let me play for 15 more minutes, and they're like, no, you gotta play breaks.
Yep.
Hold me.
Yeah. I've heard that story from other people who produce, and they say one of the things that they had to learn when they're DJing is that stuff that they like, not everybody else likes.
Yeah.
So they're it's like some people are like, well, why am I clearing the dance floor out? Because I'm playing stuff that I like, I feel like everybody else should like this stuff, but then they have to come to the realization that, yeah, you got to kind of play what maybe the people want to hear more so than what you want to hear.
Well, I wouldn't say I cleared the dance floor out, but the people who were in charge weren't into it. And
yeah.
So that's who you got to kind of please.
Yeah, you're too future. So how long were you DJing out? I mean, like, was that 5, 6, 7 years?
Probably a good 10 years.
Okay.
Like,
Wow.
probably 94 to 2004.
Wow.
And then real life took over.
Did you play at Future Sound of Breaks or anything like that?
Yep.
Did
I played
you?
a few of those. Uh-huh.
Dang, man. All right. At Firestone?
I never played at Firestone, but there was quite a few Future Sound of Breaks shows.
Did you play at any that were in Miami?
Yep. Yeah, I played down in Miami a few times. In fact, that was probably one of my last gigs, was down in Miami. Played a live show down there.
I'm making a note here. I'm going to have to find a flyer with your name on it. Okay. I'll have to hit up Glenn. See if he's got some. All right, so you said like 94 to 2004? Okay, that's cool. Because I was out partying then, so that's why I'm like, dang, I wonder if I saw you. I didn't even realize it. It could have been, because I don't know if I even knew who you were at that point. So, okay.
Maybe. I mean, I didn't play that many shows, 6 or 7 a year. But,
Yeah.
I mean, it was still cool. Anytime someone buys you a plane ticket and flies you out somewhere to play somewhere,
Yeah.
it's an honor.
Feels nice. Yeah.
It does feel nice. I mean, I loved performing, but being part of the whole production side of things is very different than going and enjoying the scene itself. And seeing it from behind the curtain kind of soured me on the whole scene. It was dealing with promoters and all that. They were good ones, don't get me wrong, but they're also the promoters that, you didn't get paid. They skipped town. It was annoying.
Yep. I've had some of those myself, man, where, like, they promise you all this stuff, and you're like, all right, yeah, kind of doing them a favor by, playing for them, and then, like, no money afterwards.
Yeah.
And it's like, man, that is, it's unfortunate. So when you were talking about you went to Winter Music Conference, so were you down there DJing as well, or you were down there just so you could get your music out there and meet with everybody and things like that?
Mostly to meet people, but I did do shows while I was down there as well.
Okay. Huh. I gotta look all that up. That's funny. So what were your influences? Like, who kind of, you said Prodigy and Moby and stuff like that, but like your style, like who influenced your style?
Well, being a college radio DJ, I was really into kind of the alternative scene, whether it was industrial electronica or the goth stuff. And then when I got more into the dance scene, I really liked the German DJs, Sven Goth, like the really deep, dark stuff. And of course, Rab and the Moon was a huge influence. Getting to meet them and seeing that, hey, you can actually make a living doing this is inspirational.
Right.
And then seeing Icy put out records, and then hearing Icy play my record, I was like, wow, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. What song did he play?
I did Bump of the Night.
Oh.
Did that. So,
Heck yeah.
I mean, he probably helped break it. So.
I mean, that track's like the perfect opener. Pretty much for anything. You open a CD with it. open a gig with it, man, open a night with it, like it's perfect for that. It's like, all right, we're getting ready and this shit's about to go down right now. Here's your sign. So I love that song. So yeah, let's talk about the tracks, man. Let's talk about the tracks. So let's just talk about Bump of the Night. So just so everybody, if you didn't hear when I made the announcement, Bahamut was very nice enough to let us use that as our intro song. So now in all the videos that we post on YouTube, that is the beginning. So I've made like a little video kind of clips of like the different people I've interviewed and things like that. And then in the back is Bump of the Night 96. So, yeah, I mean, so you would say it's fair to say that might be your biggest track?
That or Dobrag, those were probably the two that hit the hardest. Like Dobrag, when that came out, I remember once we were down in Fort Lauderdale doing a live show, and the DJ, his last song before he went on to play our show, played Dobrag. I'm like, we're going to be playing that song. So then he played that, and then we did our show, and we had Dobrag in there. And then the DJ that came on after that started his set with Dobrag.
So you played live?
I did, yeah.
Oh, man. That's awesome.
It was very intense doing live shows because I didn't want to be the type of artist who just brought out a DAT and then mimed doing keyboards. I mean, I tried to keep it as live as you could make an electronic band show.
So did you have like the stack of stuff?
Oh yeah, there's a lot of gear, and sometimes things went wrong. You'd be like, what do you do? And all the sequencers just freak out. And it's like, oh. Yeah, it was fun. It's definitely fun.
Yeah. It is work though, man, bringing all that stuff out. That's
stressful too, like especially if you have to fly somewhere and you've got vintage gear.
Oh, dang. I didn't even think about that. Wow. So where was the furthest that you played? Did you ever play in Europe?
Never made it over. I mean, I never made it out of the country, but I did go up to Seattle a few times, and they seemed like there. I was out in LA quite a few times too.
That's awesome, man. That's like the dream right there. That's living the dream.
This is sort of living the dream, but then it was. You could almost make a living doing it, almost.
Yeah.
But you had to have a day job.
Yeah, for sure. You need the stability. Yeah, because otherwise, look at what's happened now, man. Every DJ I know hasn't worked in like 3 or 4 months, and they're like, we're running out of money. And I'm like, dang. Yeah. Well, I'm glad I didn't go into that all the way. So, so Bump of the Night 96. Bump of the Night, sorry. So how many of those do you think that you sold, or do you know?
It was pressed quite a few different times. The original, we did, I think, 3 separate pressings, so it may have been about 3,000 copies of that. And then Bump of 96 was probably a couple thousand copies. The final Bump was probably a couple thousand. So 7,000 or 8,000 copies.
Nice.
For vinyl, that's pretty good. I mean, it wasn't like Icy big. Icy would be pressing 5,000 copies of the record you put out.
Right.
More. For me, it was like, wow, people are actually buying this.
Right.
It's amazing.
That's awesome. Were there any charts for that?
Yeah, I mean, there were charts. Magazines back then would chart stuff like that. And the record distributors would chart their sales, so you'd see it on that.
So you were on there?
Top 10 stuff, yeah.
Yeah. Did you save any of that stuff?
I have a box somewhere in the basement with old flyers and stuff like that.
Dude, that's awesome. That's so cool.
Yeah.
So then Dobrag, let's talk about that one. So is that your probably number 2?
I would say so, yeah. Dobrag is an interesting song. Usually when a track would take me a couple weeks to write. That one, I had my buddy Joe V out from Florida. I was living in Arizona at the time. And he brought some records with him to sample. And that one just came together like magic. It was like, I wrote the song in 4 hours. It was like, boom, done.
Wow.
It just worked. The label, Black Magic Records, they're like, yeah, this is a good song. But they actually liked, I think, the B-side better. They weren't sure what they had there.
Let's see.
And then when it was played out, it's like just people were into it with the sirens and the scratching, the 303 line. It just all fit together.
So Dope Rag is for sale on Discogs right now. There's one available for $77.
Oh, nice. Is that the original Dobrag, the purple label one, or is it one of the swell
It says Jovi and
remastered?
Cyrus featuring Bahamut, Dobrag.
Yeah, that's the one.
Okay, so tell me about these names. I forgot to ask you about this. What is up with these track names?
Dobrag came from the record that Joe brought out. It was like some old, I don't know, Seventh-day Adventist record or something. Dobrag is this religious, weird space odyssey. And Glorshan is a strange planet on it. And yeah, we just thought it was hilarious.
Sounds like some Scientology stuff.
Yeah, totally.
Glorshan and Ondanong?
Yeah.
That's cool though, man. I like interesting names. That is cool.
Like I said, man, naming the tracks is always the hardest thing for me. Writing them's the easy part. Then it's like, oh man, I got to put a name on it.
Yeah. So how did you come up with Bump in the Night? Because you know what? On Bump in the Night, that's got multiple levels of meaning. Like, that's why I'm like, it's got Bump in the Night here, Bump in the Night there, or, you got Bump in the Night here. Yeah, you're like,
Joe V came up with the name. He's like, I got the perfect name of the song. He's like, Bump in the Night. Oh, that sounds cool. Okay, we'll go with that.
Works on multiple levels, man. I love it.
Yeah.
I was like, there's some depth to this song, but I guess not. I guess it's somebody else named it. Okay. So what's up? Talk about the sample. Where did that Planet E sample come from?
I know a lot of the samples came off of Egyptian Lover. I think it's an Egyptian Lover sample. But I don't remember exactly where I got it.
Okay. Gotcha. Like I said, man, it's perfect. So the first time that I heard that song, which is why I love it so much, is, and hopefully when I have Merlin on here, I'm going to tell him the same story. So Merlin Spellbound was the CD that just made me realize that breaks was like my style of music that I liked over everything else that I had heard. And the first song on there is one of the Bump in the Night remixes or Final Bump, sorry. It's the Final Bump opening. And I was like, dang, this is the one. This is what I like. So what was the Final Bump thing? What was that versus the remixes?
I mean, it was more they wanted more remixes of the track. They wanted me to do something with it. And I was like, well, they wanted to release the original again. I was like, I don't want to just do the original. I want to do some more remixes. But I've done so many mixes of it, kind of over it. So this is the final time I'm going to do that. Although I then put out even more mixes digitally in 2014.
So you came up with Final Bump?
Yeah,
it's perfect, dude. It's perfect in the series, man. It's like, it's awesome. I have that record. I don't really play that one. I play the Bump in the Night 96 one, but let's see what that one's going for on here. We got one for sale for $29.99. So too bad you don't have a whole big stock of these things sitting around, man. You can retire. That's awesome. There's only one for sale too, so there's some scarcity with these things. I forget, let me see, what version was that? Maybe it was Bump in the Dub. Bump in the Night, Final Bump. I'll have to look at it. I don't remember. The one that is on the Merlin Spellbound CD is the one that's on the inner part of the record on one side. I forget which one that is.
That may just be the original mix.
Okay. It could be. So let's see. What were the other tracks? Oh, yeah. So what was that track with the little anime girl on it? I forgot what that one was called.
Feel Good EP. And then DJ Feel Good did a remix of it. So it was kind of...
So that was your EP, and then somebody did a remix on that?
Yeah, so often you'd write a song, and then you'd send the samples of the song off to someone else to do a remix to help get a reinterpretation. And Feel Good was actually, he maced it. He had a pretty big one in the scene. But he was a big band for sure. So he helped sell that. I think that one did really well, first of all.
Yeah, it's not on here. I'm not gonna spend time. I should have looked for it before we started, but yeah, that's okay. No, I like that one too. I only had those are the well, actually I have three now. I got the final bump, that one, and then the bump in '96. But when I was playing, I played that one out. I like that track. That was good. So what was like the story behind that one?
I heard this little sample blurb, "You make me feel good," and I'm like, oh, that could be a hook. And so I just built the whole song up around that. Chopped it up, filtered it.
How long does that take?
It could take a long time. Yeah, like I said, a lot of the songs, it would take weeks or even months to write. You'd get just like fixated on one sound, like get the snare exactly right, just like tweak the snare sound the whole day, or get the kick drum just right, and then you add in the production side of it. But it's part of the fun.
Did you ever see that meme, the production meme, where the guy is sitting on the couch, like in deep thought, and then the girl's looking at him like, why doesn't he talk to me? And then the bubble above the guy is, I got to get that snare drum just right. Like, he's ignoring her, and she's like thinking of something else, and he's like, can't get off of it.
Yeah, that's writing dance music for sure.
So what are you doing right now? Like, what's up with your music right now? Are you making music or putting it out or anything?
Yeah, I've been writing a lot of stuff, but I haven't really put it out. For this podcast, I posted like a dozen, 9 tracks that I've done up on SoundCloud, so you can check them out there. I've been experimenting a lot with mixing in real musicians, like guitar players, mandolin players, piano, singers, live drummers, and then adding in an electronic component to it. It's not breaks, but I mean, there's some funky beats in there. You wouldn't hear this out in clubs. I write for myself. For me, it's music has always been about what I like. So
it's like a therapy, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely, especially now.
Yeah. For sure. I've people that come up in the studio and they play, and they're afterwards are just like, thank you, man. They're like, thank you for giving me this out, because it's just like an escape from all the other stuff that's going on.
Yeah.
So are you self-releasing stuff? Like you're just doing it on your own, or do you have a, not a distributor? I don't even know. What would that be if you were sending it to somebody?
I guess you'd send it to a label, and your
Okay.
label would be releasing it to, I mean, you can do it all yourself these days. I put some stuff out a few years ago and got it on Beatport and iTunes and all this. And I get royalty checks, emails. This month, you get 32 cents. It was kind of disheartening. So now I'm just going to put it all on SoundCloud for free, and if people want to listen to it, they can.
So what are you on Beatport under? Are you on Bahamut or Christopher Rayce?
Both.
Oh, really?
They're both up there. Yeah.
I didn't know that. Huh. So you're getting royalties from Beatport. Are any of your tracks ever featured in some type of commercial thing where you get like even if it is only 10 cents, you're still getting something consistently?
No,
Okay.
never made it to that level.
Well, if we ever make some money on this show, dude, I'll start sending you some checks.
Okay.
Every time the song,
my other 32 cents. I
yeah.
get every month.
I mean, I can every time the song plays, yeah, we get you like a quarter or something. So I didn't know you were on Beatport. So is that that's where the royalty tracks will be coming from? Is something like that?
Something like that. I don't even know where it's coming from, honestly. It's like, but it's so little, I don't even care. It may be streaming on stuff, like Pandora's or iTunes.
Okay. Somebody wants to know what happened to the dreads.
It was a long time ago. Now I go for the fro, the blowout. Yeah. This is
on Discogs. You got like the fro. There's no dreads. Yeah. If anybody has any questions, I should have said that at the beginning. If anybody got any questions for them, shoot them in the chat. What's up, Jimmy? Yeah, I haven't seen a picture of you with dreads. I got to do some more research, man. There's a lot of stuff I found out from here that I was not aware of.
Yeah, my kids are gonna see this and they're like, "Dad had dreads."
Yeah, that's awesome. So where is okay? So you said you're on SoundCloud. So what's your SoundCloud? What's the what
That's
name?
Christopher Rayce.
Christopher Rayce. And don't you have a website too? I don't know what the address is. What is it?
Yeah, ChristopherRayce.com. I haven't updated it in a while. But,
you know how I found you?
Tracks.
Did I tell you how I found you? So okay, I was looking for you and I saw your Facebook, and I'm like, he's not on Facebook. I might have messaged you. I can't remember, but I'm like, he's not using his Facebook. You had a Twitter post from like March, and it was like the only thing that was current on your that I could find of you. So then I looked at your Twitter profile, and I think it had your website on there. And then I filled out that form, and then I didn't hear back, and I was like, "Ah, man!" I was somebody. So here we go. Let's see. We might have something. I have some evidence here of you with some dreads. Somebody just texted to me. Wow. Oh, dude, how can I get these in here? Okay, so let me. Oh, well, let me see if this will work. I don't know if this is gonna work. Probably not.
No.
Oh, hold on. Let me try it again. Yeah, hold on. I can text it to you. Hold on, I'll text it to you. So, just to describe what I'm seeing here. So, yeah, this is definitely you playing a live set. Wow, dude, you look like a straight up like Rastafarian music producer. That's awesome. Yeah, you got, dude, there's a bunch of keyboards and stuff right here. Dang, Jimmy.
Yeah, see? There's a lot of stuff, man. I had to bring a lot of gear on stage. And, yeah, it's fun.
I'll text these to you real quick. We can talk about them for a second. Yeah, sorry, I'm not fast enough to figure out how to show these on the live stream, but I'm sending them to Chris right now so you can check them out. Yeah. So is that Jimmy? Is that you? So this is, I guess, is this Jimmy? Let's see. That's what I was asking if you knew earlier. It was Jimmy Purnell. Okay, let's see. Club K's on Lauderdale.
I know we played in Lauderdale a few times. I'm really bad with names. I'm sure I met the guy.
Yeah.
But sorry, Jimmy.
It's all good. Did you get him? Do you have your phone with you? Check it out.
It hasn't come through.
Okay. Let me see. Well, we'll try to come back to it if it goes through. Let me try to send one at a time. So, no, those are some cool pictures, man. I'm definitely. Thanks for that, Jimmy. That's awesome. All right, so let's see what else. Okay, so you're just making music just to make music right now, just because you love it, like that's your thing.
Yeah,
I
mean, it's kind of why you get into it in the first place, because you love music. Although I'd be lying if I said I didn't have visions of fame and fortune back then.
Yeah. So has anything that you've made recently like gone anywhere as far as like being, I don't know, put on anything?
No, and it's my fault. I don't promote it all. It's not my thing. I mean, for me, everything sort of ends after the song's done. It's like, wow, I wrote the song. That's it.
Okay.
Like I had all these tracks that I posted for this show, and I've just been sitting on them.
Gotcha.
I think they're really good. They were a lot of fun to write. Bringing in live musicians is a whole different ballgame than just sitting and writing in the box.
So when you say you're bringing them in, you're like bringing in actual people playing like something for you, and then you're incorporating it into what you're making, or you're taking like something that somebody recorded?
No, it's bringing in live musicians and having them like. I have friends who are great musicians, so bringing them into the studio and having them play and like doing a jam almost more than like sitting down and crafting every measure. It's a different way of writing. And it's fun.
Okay. That's cool. So you have like a recording studio and things like that to do that, or you're renting out? I mean, obviously I see you got a bunch of speakers and stuff behind you.
No, I don't have a recording studio other than this, but yeah, miking up some guitars and amps and drums. Yeah, maybe the sound quality isn't as good as who's on it in a sound stage, but it's fine for what I'm doing.
Right. I'm looking at your website right now. I felt like there was something else that you do on here. Do you do graphic design now?
Well, I did the design for the website, but no.
Okay.
I mean, outside of just for fun. I mean, I love messing around with computers and stuff. So
Okay. Yeah, when I looked at your website, I was like, last thing on here is 2017. I don't know if he's even going to get this email.
Yeah, I saw it. I was like, this is interesting. Wonder if I should email him back.
Yeah, dude, I was so excited. I was so excited when I got that email. I was like flipping out. I'm like, this is awesome. You don't even know, man. That was amazing. So yeah, you said you got a sample set up right now or something, right? For the 303 or whatever it is?
So for my stay-at-home time, I like to build my own instruments. So I built an RE303, which is you get a board, and it's a total, complete replica of the original TV303 board. And then I sourced all of the rare parts on eBay and soldered it all together. I designed a case for it in CAD and 3D printed it. And so this guy came out right here.
Wow.
Yeah. It sounds so good, too.
So you got, like, the schematics of the original thing and, like, just rebuilt every part?
Well, that would be taking it a little bit too far. Someone else did that. They took the schematics and they made an exact replica of the PCB board, and you can buy the board online. But then you have to source all the parts and put it together. So, I mean, it took, like, a good week of soldering. It's kind of like building a puzzle.
Wow.
But when you turn it on and it actually makes sounds, it's like, oh, man, that's cool. And then that one turned out so good. I was so happy with it that I did their 606 project. Because the 606 fits the same form factor as the 303.
Okay.
The case I designed for the 303 works for 606.
So you did the 3D printing yourself?
Yep.
Man, that's cool stuff, dude. That's really cool stuff. Wow.
So, yeah, anyway.
That's
It
nice.
works.
That's nice.
Yeah.
It sounds good, dude. It sounds good on this end. It does. I turned it up a little bit. That's cool. That's cool stuff. So are you using any hardware for making your stuff? Or are you mostly like all software now, I guess?
All hardware.
Okay.
I mean, I could do it all in the box and VLCTs and all that, but I don't enjoy it, man. I write music for fun. So
Right.
I love. I mean, at some point, I almost like turned into like a synth collector more than a musician. So, building synths and incorporating the real analog sounds into my stuff is I get excited by that.
Yeah. That's cool. Did those pictures come through?
Let's see. No.
Okay.
Did you?
I resent them twice, so I don't know. It could be maybe where I'm at. I'm not sure. I'll get them to you after the show. I'll put them. Well, I'll ask.
I want to see them.
Yeah, I'll get them up after the show, and then I'll ask you if it's cool if maybe we could post them in the event page afterwards.
Sure.
So, yeah. It looks cool, dude. I mean, I'm blown away by how you look, dude. It's awesome. Like, you're definitely that guy. You know, it's cool stuff. Yeah, you're surrounded by. There's a Korg right there. Or no, what is that? No, something else. I don't even know. Encenia or something like that. I don't know. Some kind of keyboard. So that's cool stuff. So. All right, man. So if anybody has any questions, go ahead and throw them up in the chat. So we kind of covered a lot of the stuff. Actually, we covered pretty much all of the stuff I think that we were going to talk about. Let me see. Yeah. So, okay. So tell us where everybody can find you on all your stuff.
Well, you can go to my website, which hasn't been updated since 2017, christopherrayce.com. SoundCloud is where you find most of my tracks. I've been posting a lot of them. I don't have all the old ones up there yet. You can definitely hear the newer stuff I've been doing there. That's Christopher Rayce. And I have a Facebook page, which I check once every 6 months. So you can contact me there. Don't be surprised if I don't get back to you.
Yeah, don't be offended if you don't hear back for 4 months. It's not you.
Yeah.
That's just the. And then you're
Right.
on Beatport.
Twitter. Beatport. I think there's stuff on iTunes as well. Probably all the streaming services. I have a feeling the distributors, they just blast it out to all of them.
Okay. Gotcha. So what's the last song that you put out like that on like Beatport or anything like that?
The last Rayce song on
Well, no, I guess
Beatport,
it could be any song. Like, what's the last song you put out for people to buy? Like, when was that?
that would have been probably 2018, 17, 18.
Okay. I'll have to check it.
But you don't have to buy it. You can just listen to it on SoundCloud. I don't make any money off of it anyway.
Right.
just listen to it and enjoy it. Yeah.
That's cool. That's cool. That's a good ending right there, man. So we've been going for almost an hour. So pretty much, I will get this up on YouTube probably by next week, and then everybody can check it out from there. And then Chris, you can share it from there because I know you don't really use Facebook, so you can share it to your friends and stuff like that. And then
Thank you, Patrick.
Yeah,
it's been fun.
we'll have a follow up. You don't have to click off after this. I'll end the stream and then we can kind of keep talking. But we'll have a follow up. Maybe we can have you back on, things like that. You know, we can talk about some other stuff. We kind of barely touched on the history. Like I got so many follow up notes now. It's like, all right, now I got some real digging I could do to ask some questions and things like that. So thank you guys for tuning in. We definitely appreciate the support, Chris. Dude, you don't even know how much I appreciate this, man. It was awesome.
It's fun that people still listen to the old tracks.
Yeah, and you gotta check out your Discogs, man. You got look at your picture. You gotta look at your picture that's on there because it's pretty good. And then you gotta check out all your records and like see how people enjoy them and stuff because they have comments and stuff about the songs on there, like what people like about them and stuff. It's cool stuff. So. All right, you guys. Well, thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Like I said, this will be available on Facebook for now, and then I'll have it up on YouTube soon, and we will see you guys next time.